Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. And this is our NXT review. I gotta say, I thought tonight's show was all right. I really wasn't too into it. I thought the best part was the whole closing segment. I loved the energy. I love how the people involved really came off. One person in particular who I'm actually excited to talk about. It feels like it's been a minute since I've been this jazzed up to talk about this certain performer. But other than that, it hit the usual beats. We know that WWE Evolution is this Sunday. I want to remind everybody again, our preview predictions for that show is going to be this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So there was some promotion for that I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, nothing really to write home about to me. But let me hand it over to my core and commentary. Ashton, what do you think about NXT tonight?
Yeah, for a rare instance here tonight, I think I'm actually higher on NXT than you are. It's kind of an odd thing. Usually, I'm just a little lower on basically everything than you, but tonight it definitely seems like I'm higher on NXT because I really enjoyed this show. I was really excited about a lot of stuff on this show. We had 3 matches on this show, none of which were overly exciting, although I will say the first match was probably better than it had any reason to be.
Yeah.
We got a big NXT debut tonight, and we got the announcement that we're going to be getting another big NXT in-ring debut next week. So very exciting stuff there. And we also found out about another match that we're going to be getting next week that should be good. And we got a little bit of well, I shouldn't say a little bit. We got a big-ass storyline development tonight that I'm very excited to see going forward.
Absolutely. So with that said, let's get right into our first segment, Heat of the Night. I got no heats of the night. What about you, Ashton?
I don't have any either. This is a really good show to me.
Then let us get right into our NXT review. And this show, its opening was undisputed because the Undisputed Era in their entirety, including a newly healthy Robert Pisces, a.k.a. Bobby Fish, all came down to the ring. And Ashton, what do you think of this promo?
It was really just Adam Cole talking. But yeah, he came down and he said, just in case you've been living under a rock, Bobby Fish is back and the Undisputed Era is at 100%. So maybe consider this a warning for the NXT locker room. And if you don't believe us, how about you just ask War Raiders about last week? 2 of the biggest and baddest men in all of NXT and the Undisputed Era, we demolished them. And for the record, if anyone else wants to get in our way, well, you won't be in our way for long. We'll make short work of you like we do everybody else because we're going to make people fear NXT. We are going to make people fear everything about this place. Why? Because NXT, you're not NXT. The Undisputed Era is NXT. And then he talks about Ricochet. And he talks about Ricochet is a man who has his property. He says that Ricochet a couple weeks ago defended Adam Cole's NXT North American Championship against Pete Dunne and Adam Cole, and he beat Pete Dunne, but he didn't beat Adam Cole because he can't, he couldn't, and he won't. And because when he gets his rematch for the NXT North American Championship, he promises that, and then EC3's music hits. So EC3 comes out, we get the NX3 chants from the audience, and can I just say, EC3 speaks really weirdly. Like, it's like some Yoda level shit. Like, say, let me drop some knowledge on you. He says, Adam, I'm going to impart some knowledge on you that your 3 yes men will not tell you. Some God-honest truth. You did not deserve a rematch for the North American champ. And then Cole interrupts him. Excuse me? Do you really think that it's a smart idea to come out here to try and mess with the Undisputed Era right now? You really think that's a smart idea? And then EC3 said, I understand that you were not pinned, but my sweet boy, you did not win. And there you stand, the Undisputed Era, full of gusto, bravado. The boys are back in town. Undisputed Era is 100%, and it matters not because I am the top 1%. Now, before I even move on with the promo, that was a cool line because he always is. That's his whole thing is he's the top 1%. So mixing in the percentages there, I dig that. But then Cole just says, EC3, shut up. And then he says, you know what, tough guy, you think you're big and bad? How about we get a referee out here right now? And for the NXT locker room, I make an example out of you. Let's go. And then again, EC3 just like Yoda level shit. Summon a referee, we shall. And a ref just shows up out of nowhere. This is a really fun promo exchange, and EC3 is one of the weirdest talkers I've ever heard.
I could see EC3 being some people's guilty pleasure, and including myself, honestly, if he keeps having promo delivery like this. Again, every week, or at least every week that they, are visible on the product. Undisputed Era. I love it. I love the confidence. Cole's delivery was great. I mean, that guy's a main event waiting to happen. I honestly don't care what anybody says. That is a hill I am more than willing to die on. EC3 definitely showed some like a fun side, some personality here. I agree the delivery was weird, but not in a bad way. I mean, like you said, it's kind of a fun thing. Cole cutting him down, though, like, EC3, shut up. I'm like, oh, my God, Cole just spoke for, well, definitely me. And I guess I won't go beyond that. But, yeah, definitely very cool interaction between these two. And then we get to the match. And, Ashton, what do you think about these two, their chemistry in the ring? What do you think of this bout here?
I was actually surprised at how good this match ended up being. This is the one that I was saying earlier. It was better than it had any right to be. I actually really enjoyed this match. And Adam Cole just continues to be, like, this sort of understated match of the year machine. It's crazy. Like, this wasn't a match of the year by any means, but what my observation is somehow or another, Adam Cole can work with literally anybody and drag them to the best match they've ever had. Like, he's so good.
Yeah, they definitely, when you look at like the heel face dynamic, the crowd was definitely behind EC3, which was good. And, they really did a great job building up tension because Cole teased the last shot at two different points of the match, and EC3 evaded both times, and he overcame Undisputed Era interference. He rolls Cole up, and he beats him via a roll-up. So, like, definitely the biggest win of EC3's NXT career, especially amidst a time when I know a lot of wrestling fans that kind of do what we do. They're like, oh, EC3, he may need to get a win. He looks like he's losing credibility and this and that. I mean, this will definitely restore some of your credibility, beating a guy the caliber of Adam Cole. And then Adam Cole kind of gets his heat back because it's like a pack of dogs mentality. Fucking what was it? O'Reilly and I want to say Strong doing the high-low. That was freaking brutal on the outside. And then they just
because it was Strong doing the sick kick while O'Reilly went low for like the tripping sweep.
Yeah, dude, it was brutal. I loved it. It really came off well to me. And yeah, they just laid EC3 out. I'm like, damn. So yeah, this was good shit, man. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was great. Yeah, better match than it had any right to be, like I said. And then, yeah, the whole beatdown afterwards, and Bobby Fish with the chair shot. And can I just say, too, like, I thought it was so weird because EC3 has been so insanely over with NXT, and yet when Bobby Fish hits his knee with a chair, we get thank you, Bobby chants.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell, NXT crowd?
They're starting to be as mystifying as the Temple, as the Believers.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you there. I don't know what the fuck is
up next, though, we got a Mia Yim video package, which made me so happy. And then I just lit up when the text said up next. I was like, oh, already the week after she loses in the NYC, she gets to be on NXT. Made me so happy.
Yeah, she definitely deserves this. I mean, she has been a consistently solid performer in the ring. As a promo, I guess she's passable, as a babyface.
Better than Mercedes.
I would agree with that.
And that's all you really need to get credible NXT time. Like, I feel like they've kept Mercedes off NXT TV just because of how bad she is on the mic. But with Mia, she's at least good enough that they can use her.
Absolutely. Well, she's very sincere, I think, too. And I think that, is definitely something.
There are a lot of words that when she's a babyface, I definitely agree. But as a heel, she feels very, like, unnatural to me.
Well, yeah, we haven't seen her as a heel yet, though. I'm speaking only in the.
Well, that's what she was here in this promo.
Oh yeah, I guess you have a point there, but I mean, I definitely thought she worked more baby in the match.
Oh yeah, like in the match, it was like, it was. I don't even know if I want to say, it was more neutral. It was just like she was just the badass like ass kicker that we're used to. But in the promo, it was definitely like, I'm a badass. What are you gonna do about it? It was like that. It's the kind of vibe I got. I don't know.
I didn't really get the same vibe as you. I could understand why you did. I just didn't feel the same way. But regardless, she is debuting up next, and then we go from that to her match with Aaliyah.
No, but we did get a little kind of in between there with Nikki Cross going up to Regal's security guy saying, "He's coming, he's coming, he's coming."
Yes, he is, and boy, did I once he did. We'll get to that
exactly.
later.
But then we did get to the second match of the night, Aaliyah versus Mia Yim, and I don't even have any notes for this, just that Mia won via soul food.
Yeah, that it was really a match to establish Mia Yim in the NXT landscape. Aaliyah got some offense here, but really we come away knowing Mia Yim's here. Soul food for the win. We can move on.
All right, man. Then after this, we get to backstage shot of Bianca Belair complaining to William Regal about not getting a title match despite still being undefeated, even though she can't seem to overcome the Nikki Cross obstacle. I don't know. But then before Regal even has a chance to give her a proper answer, Kathy Kelly shows up and is asking about this Aleister Black situation, and Regal still doesn't know what name Nikki Cross gave Aleister. And then an Undisputed Era show up, and they're complaining about EC3, but then Regal just kind of shuts them down and is just like, listen, guys, you've got a tag match next week. It's going to be War Raiders versus Adam Cole, and I believe it was Bobby Fish. It might have been Roderick Strong, though. I don't know.
Yeah, first of all, just to address one thing, I'm honestly convinced that Bianca and Nikki are going to like settle their issues at War Games. And I'm hoping they get a stip because it's only been the third match that they've had. And, you know, maybe it'll be like a must be a winner kind of thing. I don't know what they could do on it with.
See, and I'm wondering if they like, there's like so evenly matched that they'll just end up both getting title shots.
Man, I really hope it doesn't come to that, dude.
Like a triple threat kind of deal?
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't prefer that. And I only say that because, I mean, clearly Bianca's on the rise. I would rather Nikki be her legitimizer and we get a one-on-one title match. Like, you know, I feel like when you start doing clusters, it kind of takes away from the championship because, I mean, come on, there should be like one dominant, strong contender. So I'm hoping this is just all a way for Bianca to get that huge win and then for her to be like, I'm not waiting anymore. Give me my title shot. But now to address everything else you were saying, I mean, Undisputed Era interacting with Regal is the best because he's so serious and proper. And Undisputed Era is just like, are you kidding me? What is wrong with you? Like, they are really just so over Regal's bullshit. And yeah, it's going to be War Raiders versus Bobby Fish and Adam Cole next week, which that's going to be an interesting pairing, Bobby Fish and Adam Cole. But they can't believe it. They're apoplectic, to use my favorite Morrow term. They walk out. And yeah, that's pretty much that segment, man. Good shit.
Absolutely. That was a really good segment, though. It was really productive. Like, we start reminding everyone that Bianca Belair is undefeated and wants a women's title shot. Then we get Kathy to get Regal to point out that he still doesn't know what name Nikki gave to Aleister. And then Undisputed Era show up and we set up our match for next week. It's all really smoothly done and it all kinds of revolves around William Regal, which is never a bad thing because Regal's great for television.
Absolutely. And with that said, partner, what came after this?
After this, we got a Lacey Evans video package that stemmed from her saying, I need to make a statement. Like, it was actually a kind of another interesting kind of transition because she's just like, I need to make a statement. And then she starts talking, but then we transition into like them showing highlights of her. And then we basically just end up getting a full-blown video package highlighting her and her NXT character.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just kind of, if you're new to NXT after all this time, which I'm sure they get new people every day kind of drawing eyes to the product. You know, this is kind of an initiation into what this particular character is all about. I thought it was serviceable. You kind of really definitely get the heel vibes. And it's coming at an interesting time. You know, she's like that classical type woman, taking it old school. I think between this and the Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux, and Impact Wrestling, you know, character-wise, they're both interesting. Execution-wise, I can't say much about Bordeaux because I haven't seen her work in the ring at all. Lacey Evans, you know. I think she's got an upside, but not as much as I'm sure, you know, the higher ups would like to think.
I think Lacey, like what Lacey lacks as far as actual in-ring talent and technical ability goes, I do think she kind of makes up for to a degree with just presence.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because she definitely has like a dominating presence about her.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with you there. I think that's a fair assessment of Lacey as a performer. And I really think it's only a matter of time before she at least gets a title shot. Again, as I've said, I don't think she'll ever be NXT Women's Champion. She's going to be a multi-time Women's Champion on the main roster, whatever brand she's in. But NXT Women's Championship, I'm sure she'll get a title shot at it eventually, but come up short.
Let me ask you a question, John. What would you do if, I know NXT, have we ever had a Women's Championship triple threat at a takeover before?
I don't think so, because I think we've only ever done Fatal 4-Ways.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting to. I was going to ask you how you would feel because of the fact that we only ever really have done Fatal 4-Ways if they went that direction and we got the winner of the Evolution title match versus Bianca versus Nikki versus Lacey in a 4-way.
Yeah, but when you also want to factor in the Mae Young Classic winner, I would have one of those women take a seat at least. Because, you know, Io's probably going to win.
Well, like I said, I wasn't expecting the Mae Young Classic winner to get a title shot until January anyway.
Right. Yeah, I guess if
that
you
for a
were,
while.
I mean, playing by your rules, and if you weren't expecting it until January, I guess I'd be cool with that match. I mean, but again, though, it's like I feel like Bianca has got more of a claim than anybody right now, and if she beats Nikki Cross, that's definitely so. But then again,
Right. Oh,
Lacey
definitely. I mean, yeah, if she beats Nikki, like really, if any of those three women beat any of the other women as far as like within that group of three, that like immediately catapults them to contention, in my opinion. But it's really hard to pick one that stands out over the other two at this point.
Oh yeah. Chat correcting us. Takeover Chicago. It was Ruby Riott versus Nikki versus Asuka. It was gonna be another fatal 4-way, but that's when Ember Moon got injured. So this would be an intentional.
Oh, that's right. I actually forgot all about that. But the thing is, though, that was an unintentional triple threat. It was still meant to be a 4-way.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'd be cool with that. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with the whole situation. Because then again, I mean, to your point, Lacey could claim, you know, Kairi's NXT Women's Champion, but it wasn't that long ago that I beat Kairi Sane. Even though Kairi Sane won that series, you know, a win is a win. So they definitely have some mid-card heel contenders that they should kind of address. But yeah, getting back to the task at hand or the topic at hand, you know, this video package was fine, and I'm curious what Lacey Evans is going to do next. So
right. So then we see Ciampa pacing backstage because of Regal's big NXT Championship announcement tonight. And then we get a Kairi Shayna video package, which kind of highlights their entire history with each other, dating back to last year's NYC finals. Anything you wanted to touch on there?
No, I loved Shayna having the line like, it's so funny that this pay-per-view is called Evolution because I'm the reason that there's been an evolution. And, you know, you could certainly make that case. I mean, she's one of the most legitimate performers in any women's division that WWE has, you know, Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. And I thought it was a good video package. I mean, definitely got me hyped for presumably their final encounter. Like, this will be their fourth match. I'm good after this, regardless of who wins. Like, even if Kairi loses and I'm heartbroken and whatever, I would want, you know, Kairi to maybe do something else before getting back into the title picture. I just need kind of a breather from these two after this bout. But yeah, this video package was just fine. I think it's definitely going to be one of the standout matches at Evolution this Sunday. And again, we'll talk about it in depth this Friday at 9. So
absolutely, man. That's gonna be a really fun preview predictions, or at least the three matches that we care about. So then after that, we did get our third match of the night. It was Justin Xavier versus Cassius Ohno. In this match, I mean, there wasn't a ton to talk about because it was basically like a one-sided exhibition type match for Ohno. But it is worth noting that Ohno did say, and he kind of shouted it out loud so everyone can hear him, "This isn't what I asked for, Regal." So he was clearly pissed about even getting this match against sort of more of a local talent. And he did end up winning via the rolling elbow. And then Nikki Cross came out afterwards with the he's coming thing. But do you have anything you want to talk about as far as the actual match or Ohno demanding a better competition from Regal, anything like that?
No, it's funny though, because after this match, didn't we transition like after all the promotional stuff and like on the NXT product to talking about the person that Cassius Ohno actually does want to get his hands on? Because we know that he's eyeing that guy because he said,
yeah, we got the Matt Riddle vignette video package, whatever you want to call it, and we're getting his in-ring debut next week.
So we're getting his debut next week, but do you think we're getting Ohno Riddle at War Games?
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I'm glad we're on the same page on that. But yeah, Ohno murdered this guy. Nothing really to say. We know who he really wants. And since you already kind of touched on the Matt Riddle video package, I enjoyed it. I loved the bro at the end because I was waiting for it.
Yes.
I was like,
just one long drawn out
bro.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was great, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was awesome. But then, yeah, we got to our final segment, Regal in the ring. Ciampa, before Regal even has a chance to say much, Ciampa comes out, and of course he's hugging Goldie on his way to the ring, just nice holding Goldie nice and tight to his chest. And I know you don't really care about this, but I found Ciampa to be very disrespectful to William Regal, even despite saying all due respect beforehand. But then Velveteen Dream came out, and he wants, involving as far as this whole NXT Championship announcement goes, all he wants is for William Regal to say my name. But then Lars Sullivan comes out. He wants the title shot and says everyone else is in Lars territory. Dream demands that if Lars is going to address him, that he at least has pants on. And Lars grabs him by the throat, but then Nikki Cross comes out with the whole "he's coming" shtick one more time. But this time she's genuinely panicked, and it's actually happening, because then we cut to the parking lot. We see Black taking out Regal's security detail, which, I mean, throwback to Samoa Joe, get better security. And then Alistair storms the ring. But at this point, you know, Lars had already tossed Dream aside because of the choke thing. He threw him out of the ring. And as Black was approaching the ring, Ciampa hightailed it out of there. Smart champion right there. So the only one left that was actually an in-ring competitor at the point was Lars, who tried to get into the ring and ate a black mass for his troubles. And then we get Alistair Black coming up, throttling Regal by the collar. Where is he? Only to turn around into a Johnny Gargano super kick. I'm right here, he says. Holy shit.
Before I talk about this, I wanted to give you the opportunity to take your victory lap.
Oh, God. I called this from miles away.
Yeah.
Like, I would say within a week of this, the attack video being put up on WWE's YouTube channel, I said, I bet you it was Gargano. And even like when Cliff made his big list of like the top 10 most likely candidates, I was harping, it's Gargano. I was saying there's some credence to some other, but the most interesting story and the most likely person to do it was Gargano. I even had this crazy theory that Alistair Black took himself out. And I even specifically said in that video, if Alistair Black didn't take himself out, I think the most likely candidate is Gargano. And as it turns out, here we are. Johnny Gargano was the one. I can't wait to go back and listen to everyone that said, it can't be Johnny Gargano. That doesn't make logical sense. And meanwhile, I called it from miles out.
You should make troll accounts just to let them know it. Like I told you, Marks. First off, before I unpack this, I wanted to, one, give you your victory lap, and two, give Daddy Ciampa some spotlight because of his tweet. 3 hours ago, he tweeted, sometimes you just need to DIY with a tear in my eye, hashtag Big Daddy Ciampa is proud. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, he's definitely supporting Johnny, embracing his dark side. Now for me to talk about this. First of all, I love that Ciampa disrespected William Regal because he's a decrepit old fuck and he needs to know his place. Secondly, Velveteen Dream coming out. I'm loving his confidence as he's getting up in that main event tier. You know, Velveteen Dream said these people deserve an experience, but it's not about the people. It's about Velveteen Dream. And, you know, Regal, I want you to say my name. Like, this dude just, I say it again and again. He's so young, and yet he's so ahead. I guarantee you, my personal opinion, you look in that locker room, I'd say he's more ahead than most, especially if you focus specifically on people that are developmental products and not these really established indie talents. If you just focused on the developmental aspect, this kid is way ahead of the pack. I actually can't say that because I'm older than he is. So, yeah, it's crazy how talented he is. Lars. It is amazing to me that I have not tired of Lars Sullivan yet because he's just that good.
He's like another Rusev, a guy who really has no right to have any real semblance of a shelf life, and yet he's still like stays entertaining after all this time.
It almost makes me wonder if WWE has figured out like that it's okay for monsters to have variants because that probably prolongs their shelf life.
Yeah.
Because I know Lars is still very green. But, I mean, you used a word with Lacey Evans that I would like to bring back as it relates to Lars, and that's presence.
Yeah.
This guy has got presence for days, and I love it. I love his delivery on the mic. I love that this guy is brutal yet thoughtful, at least in his speech. And then the guy that I'm most excited to talk about, look, I'm going to be real with everybody. I haven't stopped loving Aleister Black. I haven't stopped with my belief and Aleister Black, I mean, this guy, I will say again, he's a license to print money. I think he could be, you know, what Undertaker was to people, you know, when he first came up. You know, I think he could really be that for a lot of young fans. But it's been a long time since we had an Aleister Black segment that reminded me what a fucking badass this dude is. And when you see him not only take out the security, because taking out the security is easy. Anybody can do that. We've seen it.
Get better security, Regal.
Exactly. When he rushes the ring and doesn't even give Lars a second before kicking his fucking head off.
Yes.
Dude, I popped. It's like he looked at him and he was like, try something. Okay, bam! Like, didn't even finish the thought. Amazing. I loved it. And that's what makes it all the more heartbreaking when he still ends the segment on his back, courtesy of Johnny Wrestling. Yep. And like, dude, I'm so ready for this match at fucking War Games because to me, the story's fascinating. It's like, because here's where I look at it, right? Because you had your interpretation of the Mia Yim thing. So maybe I'm a bit off in my interpretation of these events. I believe Johnny when he wanted to like atone and climb back up and all that. I think it's more, oh shit, you know, it's not that easy to just say, I'm sorry. Sometimes you made a mess and you have to clean it up. And Johnny just wanted to get ahead of it. I find the whole Johnny Gargano character as it is now incredibly fascinating because people say that he's a heel. And I think in the moment, yeah, I'll go along with that. I think long term, though, he's not so much a heel as much as he hasn't really purged all that darkness yet. You know,
he's not a full blown heel as much as he's just a fallen hero.
Exactly. Like it's one thing to declare that you want to be that hero again, that you want to be Johnny Wrestling again. But you know, one of my favorite shows, BoJack Horseman, one of their like central theses is you got to do it every day. And every day it gets a bit easier. But Johnny can't even begin to really think like that until he gets over the biggest piece of damage he caused. And that was screwing Aleister Black out of his chance to reclaim the NXT championship. Because let's not forget.
See, but that's the thing, though. He doesn't see it as the mistake being that he screwed Aleister Black. He sees it as the mistake being letting Tommaso win.
Right. Because when you do all of that and you still come up short, it's like, holy shit, I've got nothing now.
Because his whole thing, even leading up to that, was Tommaso cannot get away with this.
Right. And let's keep in mind, too, keeping the focus on Aleister, he still hasn't gotten his one-on-one rematch for the title.
No, he has not.
If I'm Ciampa, I'm seeing Aleister light people out like this.
Yeah.
Fuck me. I'm starting to have meetings with Goldie. Like, what the hell are we going to do? No, this kicked ass. I've missed this Aleister Black. Again, this is a guy, and I'm standing by it. This is another hill that I'll die on. I said heel because I just love heels. This is a hill that I'll die on. This guy is going to be just a symbol for a generation. I think a lot of fans are going to grow up watching this guy kicking ass and being the type of character he is and be like, that's the guy that hooked me on pro wrestling. He's just got that type of character to me that if you're flipping through the channels and you see it, it's like, whoa, what is this guy about? And again, just him laying out Lars. I hope they have a match either next week or 2 weeks from now. And I love Lars to death, but I want to see him again. This way they could correct their botches from their first takeover match and really just take Lars out and then just be like, Johnny's next. But yeah, you've got Aleister who has got this, he's just raging hot right now. He's got all this fire. And Johnny Gargano, who I feel like psychologically and character-wise has never been more interesting than he is right now. So this segment did everything for me. This was great. That's really all I got to say about it without being redundant. But my hat's off to everybody involved in this. I fucking loved it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I guess that rounds out NXT if we want to get into our next segment.
Absolutely. Before we do, though, guys, you know that this is usually the point of the show where I plug. So first and foremost, check out the TWitWoW Facebook page. Leave a like if you visited. I'll talk more about that page in a second. Second of all, follow both Ashton and myself on Twitter. Ashton's pinned tweet is the TWitWoW schedule. October is coming to a close, but we still have a few more recordings for the month, and then he'll be creating a new schedule for the month of November. If you want to keep your finger on the pulse of all TWitWoW recordings for the remainder of October and into November, just start following on Twitter. Start keeping up with that pinned tweet. My pinned tweet is to collect Q&A questions. Q&A is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the last Thursday of every month, and that just happens to be October 25th in this case. So if you have not yet, please submit your questions. YouTube, Twitter, my pinned tweet, again, best way to do it. Either reply to that pinned tweet or DM me. Facebook, again, visit our Facebook page and inbox us those questions. I know that's how Alex Foster likes to submit his questions. Discord, I'll get to that method in a moment. Everybody's permitted up to 4 questions per Q&A, and you can divvy them up however you like. Be sure to check out the TWitWoW Teespring store. We have a variety of merchandise spanning from wrestler-specific merch like Naito, Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens, and others. We have TWitWoW merch. I'm a TWitWoW guy. I'm a TWitWoW girl. We even have merch for my own personal faction, the Scum Squad, which I'm ready to rev that up and get in high gear after Dean Ambrose's recent actions, but we'll talk about that soon in a more appropriate forum. But we also have a Scum Squad mug when you want to drink the tears of Seth Rollins fans. Delicious. So be sure to check out the Teespring and see what you like. Finally, guys, I want to plug the TWitWoW Patreon. Interesting thing with the Patreon, we did not hit our target goal for the month. Our target goal is usually $120 a month. At that price point, we do both 205 Live and SmackDown live reactions. The only reason that is continuing is because of the enormous generosity of our patron Super Blue, who wanted to see us continue doing 205 live reactions. But if you want to make sure that that remains the case, if you're like, hey, I want to be a part of this, I want to contribute to whatever projects Team TWitWoW does, the best thing you could do is donate to the Patreon. And the best way you can donate to the Patreon is a simple $3 to get you access to the TWitWoW Discord, what I call the ultimate fan server experience. There you'll be able to commune with the most passionate TWitWoW fans and talk about everything under the sun. And you even get some perks there, like you can submit your Q&A questions there. I know, Ashley, I think you've even said like you've submitted like TWitWoW schedules there, so you kind of let people in the Discord know what's going on. So you kind of get like an inside view before everybody else. And if you're thinking, well, that's great and all, but there's not enough me involved in this, don't worry, because the best part about maintaining your membership in the Discord, those $3 that you donate month in and month out, that accrues and it builds up. And when your account gets big enough, you can cash those chips in for content control, or what we like to call Patreon requests. We've done several recently. You can go on the channel and look them up and get your finger on the pulse of like what we do, because we do both live reactions and reviews. Again, Patreon gives the price point breakdown in the description. Death matches are double. That's important to note. But hell, even Brandon Best shelled out knowing that, and we did death matches recently. So if you want us to live react to a certain show or review it, go to the Patreon. It breaks it all down for you. And we greatly appreciate your support. So with that said, let us get to our final segment, high spots and low shots. Gotta say, man, my low shot is Lars Sullivan.
Oh,
you manhandled the Velveteen Dream, and that was great and all, but my God, I have never seen Lars owned like that. Alistair was not fucking around. He's like, look, I get that you're like this wordsmith and you're bulky and you're on your bullshit, but like, I'm very angry right now, and you can flip that coin, but it's not going to be good for you. And Lars did, and it wasn't. So Lars is my low shot. Who's your low shot?
It's interesting because I actually had, when I'm really on my game, I'll think of two low shots that I can use and hope that you pick one of them so I can take the other. In this case, you didn't pick either one of them because really, like, yeah, sure, Lars might have gotten kicked in the face, but you know who else got kicked in the face and was even on more of a rampage? Aleister Black.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, have you ever played a video game and you absolutely destroy the entire level and then you get to the boss, but rather than losing to the boss, you just get crushed behind because you forgot about a boulder that was coming behind you?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's pretty much what happened to Aleister Black here. Like, he destroyed all the security guys that didn't matter, made his way to the ring, took out Lars Sullivan, who, might have done something, but then the actual object of his anger took him out.
Yeah. That's a great point.
So, believe it or not, though, he's not even my full-blown low shot. He's my honorary low shot. My actual low shot is the Undisputed Era.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it was a rough night for those guys.
Yeah, like, congrats, guys. You took out EC3, but you couldn't take him out when it mattered, and that was during the match he had with Adam Cole, where he won despite your attempts to interfere, and then you got put into a match with the War Raiders next week. Like, it was just not a good show for the Undisputed Era at all.
Yeah, and that actually transitions seamlessly into my high spot, EC3.
Nice.
I mean, after a win like this, you have to imagine he's within proximity of the North American title. He beat Adam Cole despite Undisputed Era interference. Like, goddamn. So I don't know what the future of EC3 is. I don't know if Adam Cole may regain the North American Championship, and EC3 may be one of the earlier challengers for the championship. I don't know. What I know in this moment in time is that EC3 beat Adam Cole, which That feels so wrong to say. So hopefully the universe corrects itself soon. But EC3 is my high spot. What about you, Ashton? Who's your high spot?
Oh man, let's see. For my high spot, you went with EC3, so I guess I'll go with Mia Yim, man. She made her NXT debut 1 week after losing in the Mae Young Classic to Toni Storm, and what a debut it was. She got a little video package. She picked up a strong win over Aaliyah with Soul Food. She looked awesome. Yeah, proud of Mia. And of course, you all know that's just honorary high spot. The real high spot's always Adam Cole because he was on the show and made it better. But anyway,
I mean, he did lose tonight, though. Is it even?
I know, but he intentionally lost. Adam Cole doesn't ever lose accidentally.
No, I shouldn't have even said anything. I'm so sorry. But with that said, do you have any concluding remarks about NXT tonight?
I don't. This was a really fun show, though. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Discussions make NXT like stand out as like better than you thought?
No. I still thought it was a good show, and maybe I was a bit too harsh, but I still think NYC was the best show tonight.
Okay.
But
yeah, man, it was a fun episode, and I'll let you close us out.
All right, guys, this has been NXT. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my coordinate commentary. Guys, be sure to comment on this video when it's done processing. What do you think? We finally know Johnny Gargano was the one that attacked Aleister Black. What do you think about the Johnny Gargano character in light of this? Do you think this is an interesting path for him to take? How hyped are you for the inevitable collision between Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano? What have you thought of the continued build between Tommaso Ciampa and Velveteen Dream? You feel like this, main event rub's kind of coming at the wrong time when it's seemingly, overshadowed by Black Gargano? What do you think about the NXT Women's Championship situation? Who will be the next to step up and try and challenge Kairi Sane or Shayna Baszler? Again, we're going to break all that down tomorrow at Evolution. Talk to us. Be sure to like the video. The more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top search result for NXT reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong. So please leave that like. Subscribe to your new favorite wrestling podcast if you haven't, and click the bell icon for notifications so you never again miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Guys, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, it's our Lucha Underground review. We'll be reviewing 7 to Survive for the Gift of the Gods Championship and that closing cinematic. Oh, my God. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, it will be Q&A. So if you haven't yet, submit your questions. I already went over the whole spiel of how to do that. So just get it done if you can. And then Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, will be Evolution preview and predictions. And then Sunday will be Evolution live reactions. So we're finishing out the week pretty strong, guys. Some quality content coming down the pipeline. We'll be sure to see you there. And until then, tune in and peace out.